Welkom allemaal bij Airbox live op de Boekenbeurs. Vandaag hebben wij een hele speciale gast in onze studio. Dat is meneer Paolo Giordano.
Hi.
Welcome. It's
Thank
very
you.
nice to have you here.
Thanks a lot.
You wrote a new book. It's called in English, I guess, Devouring the Sky. Di Forgotten Cello in Italian. Can you tell me something about what's it about?
Well, it's the story of four young people, a girl and three boys, three sort of stepbrothers. It's all set in southern Italy in a place called Puglia, which is an amazing place where I used to spend my summers. And also Teresa goes there in the summer. She visits her grandmas. And one night she hears some noises in the courtyard, and when she goes to the window, she sees these three boys naked who are swimming in her pool. And instead of being afraid of them, she feels like a sort of attraction to that world. And it starts like this, a very strong relationship. Then she falls in love with one of the boys called Bern, who's the main character of the book. And the book follows these people for 20 years until they're grown-ups, and quite many things happen between them.
Okay, that's very interesting. One of the big themes in the book is seeking for belief, seeking for religion. Why did you choose that theme? Is it also important in your personal life, or?
I think it's very important in general. We don't really think about life in the sense of belief and spiritual needs, but somehow we all find our personal ways to fulfill that need, I think. Especially the new generation. So I thought it was something important to address also in a story. And also, yeah, there's a lot of personal stuff in there because I was raised in a non-Catholic family, in a non-religious family, and I was one of the few in my school when I was a kid. And the strange thing that happened because of that is that being slightly different from the others raised a big curiosity in me. So I started to be very interested in everything that concerned religion. And from that time on, it was a constant going back and forth into that.
Okay, because you studied physics.
Yeah.
And most of the time, like, science and religion are opposites, fire and water. And what's your opinion about that? How was that for you?
Well, we make them opposite, and in fact, when I used to work as a physicist, in those years I was really hyper rational, and everything that concerns religion for me was a sort of superstition, and I couldn't believe any of it.
Yeah.
And then with time I became way more doubtful, I guess, way more open to different possibilities. And my idea is that you cannot really rule out religion with science, or the opposite way around. So this big contradiction they were used to is not really true, because science will never be able to wipe out religion, God, completely, and the other way around. So there's space in us for many different things and approaches to the world, I guess.
That's a very nice, very wise thought.
I don't know.
I think so. But why did you decide to become a writer in the first place when you studied physics?
I think it was closely related to what we were saying, because after like 6-7 years, science became, it was really my whole world. But I started to feel that I was missing something, and basically I was dealing with particles, invisible particles, for most of the day, and there were no human beings around in that world. So I started to miss the human being in my work, during my days, and the writing, and so I started writing, and this was a way to get back in contact with something that was more human, that was about feeling, that was about relationships, which actually were the things I was always more interested into. I just had forgotten it for a while.
Okay, because another theme in your book is solitude and coming of age, like in your first novel, The Solitude of Prime Numbers. Why is that fascinating you? Why is that a theme in your books?
I think it's one of the biggest things in our life, no? The search, the struggle to communicate with someone else, to communicate i- on a deep level and on a. It's very hard. I mean, we keep on looking for people, and sometimes we find one, and that's the most precious things we can find. I don't know. Maybe I'm not very good at it in the real life, so I I write about it. I don't know.
They also made a movie of the book, The Solitude of Prime Numbers, and you were one of the co-writers of the script. How was that to write a script?
It's very different because you know you're writing something that's not a final. It's not the final product of what you're doing. It's just an intermediate step towards something. So that lack of control freaks me out a little bit. But there are also very nice things about it, and the first one is that you're not alone all the time as you are when you're writing a novel. You work with other people, so there's a lot of discussion and it's just more fun.
And did you like the movie?
The movie is very different, so I liked it in because it's so different. It didn't overlap so much with my imagination, which I liked.
Yeah, you liked it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And can we expect a movie in the future of Devouring the Sky or one of your other books?
Someone is working
Oh,
on
really?
it, but it's still very early to say if it's gonna work or not. But this time I'm keeping out of it. I
Yeah.
think it's safer. Yes.
Okay. Are there other things we can expect from you? New books, new projects?
I hope so.
We
But
hope so
it's
too.
very early, and there's also a TV thing going on, but it's also very early to talk about that. I'm kind of superstitious with the things I do until they're done because I always feel like I won't get to the end of them. So, but yeah, there's something
No
going
little
on.
spoiler.
Nope.
No, no, not at all. Okay. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. It was really nice talking to you. Thank
Thanks
you so
very
much. En jullie ook bedankt voor het kijken naar Airbox en hopelijk tot een volgende keer.